Hi, I'm Felipe. Welcome to the Postmodern family. We are Americans living in the UK, living a traditional life. And you may be wondering where my Lillian is. Well, today I'll be doing the top 5 differences in men's fashion between the UK and the US, and she just doesn't know anything about that. So this will be just me and my dear daughter. The first difference, and I noticed it right away, is difference in men's shoes. This is dress shoes for work. Okay, so I work a white collar job, not a blue collar job, or even a bank. I don't work as a banker, trader, or one of those lawyers or anything. I'm sort of middle of the road white collar job. In the US, I would wear some trainers that would be dark in color, or you could wear some dressy sort of shoes, but not too dressy, that had a hard toe on it. I would have to go into the factory once in a while, so you wear a shoe that can just take you there without switching shoes. Here, I've experienced that you must have a nice dress shoe. You just have to. You're gonna switch those shoes out if you're gonna go in the factory with your hard toe shoes, but you don't sacrifice on the shoe wear. There's nothing like a good pair of shoes. Big difference between the US and the UK, I've experienced. Number 2, again, in the work environment, men are more likely to wear proper slacks, trouser slacks, or however you call them, and a proper button shirt here in the UK than they are in the US. In the US, I could wear what you guys would call not a shirt, but maybe a polo, jeans, or some casual trousers, not slacks, not dress slacks. Whereas here, Monday through Thursday, everyone's usually wearing some dress slacks and a fully buttoned shirt, as you would call it, long sleeve. Now, I've taken that to the next level. I wear a suit jacket Monday through Thursday. I'm finally employing the saying my father gave me, which is dress for the job you want, not the job you have. So people kind of make fun, they take the mickey out of me that I wear a suit jacket every Monday through Thursday. So I've gone quite the other way. I've swung, even further than the Brits might. The third difference in men's fashion is not in the work environment, just generally if it's sunny outside, men will more often than not be wearing hats here in the UK, whereas not so much in the US. Now I know in the US there's a big culture of baseball caps. It's not, I don't think, as ubiquitous as the hat culture generally is here in the UK. You won't have ball caps here, of course. I mean, you have a few of them, but they're not nearly as popular. You're more likely to have a full brim sort of sun hat. If you're an older gentleman, you might have a more formal, stiff brim hat. Again, I don't know the names of hats and styles and things like that, but generally, men are going to be wearing hats if it's sunny, especially if it's sunny out. In the US, not so much. The fourth difference, it's going back into the workplace, and this is the wearing of jumpers. We would call them sweater vests in the US, but they're very popular here. There's this sort of V-neck cut here, sleeveless, sweatery material, just very popular. I'm not keen on them personally, but very popular here. The fifth and final difference between UK and US fashion is, this might be not a difference because I haven't been in the US in 3 years regularly, but it is the use of massive watches. Like watches that the diameter takes up like your whole mouth. Or is the diameter of a camera lens. I didn't see that in the US, but maybe it's hit there, but I see it all the time here. Just huge watches that you could like eat a meal on. They look like a full dinner plate on your wrist, and I don't find it nice, actually. It's not fashionable in my view. I think most of these differences, it's really ironic because I think in the workplace there's still a holdover in the UK of a more formal culture in the white collar workforce, at least, versus the US being much more informal in the white collar context. However, I think the average Joe, if you will, on the street, the level of informality is pretty much the same. I think in some instances, it's even less formal here in the UK than in the US. So it's really interesting to track the differences in senses of formality in different contexts. My grandparents' generation, you would probably be wearing a suit and tie for work, even into blue-collar context. But today, suit, tie, you're really only talking about executives, as far as I understand it, or bankers, lawyers, sort of London-y situations. Thanks for watching this episode. I hope it was fruitful. I hope it gives you a little bit of insight between the differences. At the root of these differences is always some kind of meaningful, significant difference. And maybe in the comments you might guess at what that difference is. Cheers. Bye.